Okay, so we've just calibrated our alcohol content detector. If you want details on that, you can see it in the video here. But if you just want to learn how to measure your samples, how a day in the detector's life actually looks, you've come to the right video. I have some tepache that I brewed here and a sample of that here. I calibrated the device at about 23 degrees Celsius. So now we can actually go and measure this sample in the device. The first thing that you want to do is press and hold the silver button to reset the ratcheting number on the right side of the device. You can screw in your sample. Air should bubble into the sample. The alcohol from your sample will be evaporated and carried into the device where it's then measured. The raw reading is the reading on the left of the device, and the reading on the right is a ratcheting mechanism to let you know what the previous maximum reading was in the device. Every time you press and hold the silver button, you reset that maximum reading on the right. So you can see the raw reading climbing, as well as the ratcheting number on the right is also climbing. Once the number on the right has reached a peak and the number on the left starts falling down, that's the maximum reading, and that's the raw reading that you can enter in to your calculator. Readings take anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Please remember, before you screw in any of your samples, add a single drop of olive oil, vegetable oil, or an anti-foam product to prevent any foam from rising up the tube into the device and ruining some electronics on the inside. This is very, very important. You always want to watch that there's no excess foam coming off of your samples. When you measure your samples, what will happen is the readings will very quickly rise, and then they'll eventually plateau, and after some time they'll very gradually start falling down. What this means is you never want to reuse a sample, because the act of measuring the sample actually slightly lowers the alcohol content. So anytime you want to measure a sample, make sure you pour a new sample from the original stock. So the reading has reached its maximum. On the right we can see 730. On the left we can see a lower number now that the reading has reached its peak. And on the bottom we can take note of the temperature. The temperature, again, is very important. So this temperature is about 22 degrees Celsius, but we calibrated the device at 23 degrees Celsius. When you measure your samples, you want them to be within about plus or minus 1 degree Celsius, which is about plus or minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit. The closer you are, the better. A thing to keep in mind is that if you use a lower temperature, you'll get a lower raw reading, and if you use a higher temperature, you'll get a higher raw reading. So this is why it's important to stay pretty close within about plus or minus 1 degree Celsius. So now that we have our reading, we can enter it into our calculator on our Excel document. This is featured in the calibration video. If you want to learn more about calibration, you can go to the video up there. And we get a predicted alcohol percentage of about 0.38%. So again, we used a lower temperature than our calibration temperature, so our estimates here might be a little bit lower than what's actually true. So when you're done measuring your sample, you can unscrew it and let it sit for 30 seconds to a minute until the readings fall a significant amount, and then you can screw in your next sample and continue reading them. But I'm done for the day, so I'm going to screw in a sample of water just for a few seconds. This helps rinse the temperature probe and the air tube that stick down, and it also helps flush out any gases inside of the device. That's it. It's done for the day. You can turn it off and put it away in a cool, dry place. I hope you learned something today. If you want to see more details, you can visit rarecombinations.com, check out the YouTube channel, or send me an email from the contact page on the Rare Combinations website. Thanks for watching. Bye.